Live from Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston presents Houston Astros Baseball. Tonight, it'll be the finale of a 4-game series with the Colorado Rockies. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside. I'm Brett Dolan with Jim Deshaies. Great to have you with us for some National League Baseball tonight. And, JD, another exciting comeback last night, putting this club in a rare position to sweep a 4-game series.
Astros, on the heels of a 7-game losing streak, have really turned things around. 4-game sweep a possibility now if they get a win tonight from the Colorado Rockies. And they're positioned well to do so. They send Wandy Rodriguez to the mound. You know how good he's been in this ballpark. He's lost 2 in a row, but looking to get things turned around. Still has one of the better ERAs in all of Major League Baseball, 5-4 with a 2.26. He's up against Jason Hamill. The Astros saw him in Denver. He's 1-3. His ERA standing at 4.83.
Well, Wandy will try and get back on track. The offense last night, well, different heroes, different nights. It was Pence, 4 hits, 3 runs batted in, and a big-time home run. We'll see who steps up tonight. It's the Rockies and Astros starting lineups coming up next on Fox Sports Houston.
Involves you, Jeff Bagwell, a limo, and some golf.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Is this news?
It is news to me. I'm glad they called and asked me.
Get your calendar out on that one. Ryan Spilborg shoots one past Jeff Blum. Our first extra base hit of the night as Lee pursues at the base of the foul pole. A double for Ryan Spilborg's leading off this 3rd inning. Well, there's a guy who's batted all over the lineup, anywhere from 1 to 6, leading off this inning, and hit one inside the bag.
Yeah, Spilborg's, he's a hard time breaking through and claiming a lot of playing time, but he's one of those guys that, we've seen him over the years. Pretty solid looking player. Well, Wandy has to work around this leadoff double now. Barmas probably be trying to shoot the ball to right field.
Barmas walked his first time in, takes strike 1 from Rodriguez. 260 average for the former Indiana State Sycamore. No matter how good of a baseball player he is, he'll always be second fiddle, at least second fiddle in that school's athletic history. To one Larry Bird. No swing.
Hard to outdo Larry Legend. Now, here's a point to ponder. If Spilborgs was to reach third base, you might pull your infield in. So if you're thinking along those lines, it might make sense to cheat Edwin Masonette in a little bit at second base and play him about halfway, and then you have a fighting chance at throwing Barmas out if you get a sharply hit ball to second base. It's a conversation I had with Rich Donnelly the other day in Pittsburgh, and he's one of those guys that's always thinking about different plays and how to approach different situations, and it makes perfect sense. If you're willing to pull your infield in to try to hold a runner at third early in the game, then why not cheat your second baseman in a little bit and maybe have a shot on a sharply hit ball throwing him out.
He's playing deep right now, and Barmas may have extra bases. Pushes one into the right field corner. Spilborgs will score the game's first run. Pence having problems with that baseball, and Barmas into third base. Rockies lead 1-0.
Well, where the infielders playing rendered a moot point as Barmas shoots that one into the right field corner. So it's back-to-back extra base hits now, Spilborgs and Barmas. So 1 in, and it's going to be very difficult to stop the Rockies from getting one more here with a man on third, nobody out. Ball slicing into the corner, kicked around out there for Hunter. Spilborgs scores easily, and Barmas all the way to third base. What makes it even tougher is one of the best hitters in the last 20 years is in the batter's box.
Todd Helton, who singled his first time in. JD, a couple of weeks ago, he picked up career hit number 2,000. And he was one shy of that plateau when he ripped a ball that one of the Braves infielders tried to make a play on. And the Rockies requested that baseball. They said, hey, I want it. Give it to me. It went as an error. And now they went and talked to the official score. They lobbied to try and get that changed to a hit as they thought it was worthy of. And the official score didn't budge, so the next night Helton got career hit number 2,000 the clean way. Might have been one of the few times, though, a player's requested a baseball after reaching on an error.
Just in case.
Just in case. You don't want to lose that memento. Helton may have another RBI. He'll dump one in front of Michael Bourne. Barmas will race home with the Rockies' second run. And Helton picks up RBI number 36 this season, adding 2 more hits to his total.
Yeah, just such a smart hitter, so willing to just take what the pitcher gives him. It's a breaking ball down, and he puts a little uppercut swing on it. Kind of looked like a tennis player returning a serve, just serving it into center field, getting the run home.
So Helton makes it 3 straight hits here in the 3rd inning, and Matt Merton will be the batter. Now Merton, the cleanup hitter, tries to butt one and right back to the screen. Rocky's teammates chipped in for Helton after he got that 2000 hit, and they gave him an engraved hunting rifle.
Really?
Kind of a nice thought. Your teammates ever give you anything?
Boy, let me think. I've had a few buy me dinner.
Yeah, restaurant checks.
Yeah. Some even skip out on dinner.
Wandy could use some outs, and that curve floats way high now to Matt Merton. So Wandy's over 50 on the pitch count, trailing 2-0. That big inning in the last 2 starts was the first, and then he kind of locked in. Tonight went 1 time through the lineup, but now the 2nd time around the Rockies doing some damage, and there's strike 2.
A good change up there, and the curveball has been hit or miss for him tonight. He's thrown some good ones and then some hangers, and that's going to be the case on most nights. It's a percentage game. You know, if you throw good ones a high percentage of the time, you're going to have a good night. He's been up with the fastball quite a bit, but again, he can be effective up there, but sometimes by design, sometimes not.
Wandy's 4th strikeout as he retires Merton.
And I think this is why Merton tried to bunt at the outset of this at bat. He's just not feeling comfortable in the box right now, way behind that fastball.
Almost like he's sitting on that change or that breaking pitch. I would imagine both pitches, the change and the curve, are feel pitches. They come, they go. Which one for you was tougher to maintain throughout the season?
You know, I never had a good curveball. I had a pretty good changeup, and my breaking pitch was more of a slurvy pitch, kind of a slider.
Masonette, pretty good effort to get that baseball, and retires Brad Hopp. That slow roller looked like it had eyes, and Masonette had angled back to make that play.
Edwin Masonette has made a number of very nice plays since joining the Astros. Showed pretty good range in both directions. The ability to turn the double play. Pretty good looking young player, and not a real young player, although not a lot of big league experience. He is 27. He's not a pup.
Nice to see him take advantage of the opportunity to play with Matsui on the disabled list. He's done a fine job. Garrett Atkins batting with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Takes a fastball for ball 1.
I'll tell you the other thing at work here tonight. It seems like Lance Barksdale is a pretty tight zone. Maybe my former pitcher bias creeping in, because I seem to say that almost every night.
Never goes away. Atkins smashes one to left field. Way up there near the train tracks, and the Rockies lead 4-0. Garrett Atkins had been in a bad way, but he hit home run number 4, and he did not miss.
That swing of the bat, he's saying, hey folks, let's reconsider this whole AAA assignment.
11 for his last 88. So it has been a prolonged slump, and Wandy caught too much of the plate.
Yeah, about thigh high. And his fastball, if he's not hitting the good spot down and away, he's better off running it in on your hands. That little cutting action when it floats over the middle, it spells trouble. And again, working underneath that one. He's having a hard time locking in.
Ian Stewart, the batter. Despite Wandy's struggles in these last 2 starts, he has kept the ball in the park this season.
That's just number 2.
Mike Cameron had the one when the Brewers were through town that broke that huge streak of innings without a home run.
Yeah, and the amazing thing about it is he's not a sinker baller. It's not like a guy who gets one ground ball after another. So you figure sooner or later he would give up some long balls.
88 in the 3rd innings without allowing a home run, but number 2 has doubled up this Rockies lead, and now Stewart down in the count 1-2. Stewart's the guy who played long ball into the upper tank and right last night. 4 of his 8 home runs against Astros pitching. Just flicked that curveball away to stay alive. Wandy was one of those guys, JD, speaking of the All-Star game, I thought he had to be in that conversation. 2 straight losses and now trailing tonight.
Yeah, I would keep him in that conversation, but he obviously has to get things turned around a little bit. There's still time, and boy, he's really having a hard time.
Well, he's been up now in a few fastballs. Even some of the swing and misses he's had are pitches that have been up. Trying to finish off Stewart. Masonette will get another shot. He'll throw out Ian Stewart to end this 3rd, but a profitable frame for the Rockies. They hit for the team cycle. Single, double, triple homer, and they lead 4-0. Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by Aflac, by your Texas Ford dealers, and by Southwest Airlines. Boy, what a view from Minute Maid Park. That's considered a full moon.
That's well, that's a waxing moon, Brett, and it's a 7/8 moon.
I feel like I learned so much over here with you.
Every time I see a moon like that, it reminds me of the old Jackie Gleason show.
Jeff Blum in there to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning. Astros have some catching up to do. And Blum riding a 6-game hitting streak. Takes another changeup for a strike.
Well, Wandy's worked very hard in 3 innings, thrown a bunch of pitches, allowed 4 runs. Jason Hamill's sailing along here. He's thrown just 23 pitches.
Blum sends one in the direction of Ian Stewart's. And that's 7 up, 7 down.
Let me see. 7 outs on 24 pitches. So that's a little over 3 pitches per play. That's not going to work.
Just 8 major league wins for Hamill, 7 coming into this season. He pitched his first 2 years of college at Treasure Valley, Oregon Community College. And JD, I don't know if you know this, but when he wasn't pitching during the basketball games, he served as the school's Chucker Bird mascot.
Is that correct? Chucker Bird?
That's a big Chucker Bird right there. Jason Hamill, long, tall drink of water, 6'6".
What the heck is a Chucker Bird? I'm going to have to Google that one.
Masonette
Got in trouble.
367 average with a home run.
Googling the Fisher Cat out in Cincinnati.
That's true.
Chucker
had the whole
Bird.
city up in arms. Chucker Bird.
So that's their nickname.
That's their nickname. Not sure what type of mascot he was, but as a pitcher tonight, he's been pretty good. Throws a strike to Masonette.
Treasure Valley Community College Chucker Bird. Chukkar. Wow.
Talked about what talent we'd like to have earlier. I guess his talent was entertaining the masses, or at least however many fans would come to Treasure Valley Community College basketball games.
It's in the Partridge family. Well, not the. Let me rephrase that. Not Danny Bonaducci, but
wrong one.
It's a bird of the Partridge pheasant family.
Boy, the knowledge you have dropped this inning alone.
Reuben Kincaid. Yeah, I swept the floor at halftime of the basketball games when I was in college. That was part of my work-study gig. That was fun. My buddies up in the stands didn't have too much fun with that.
If you're punching a time clock, you don't get very many hours, do you, in minutes? Masonette shoots one by Garrett Atkins. That's the first Astros hit this evening. And the kid now 12 for 31 since coming up from Round Rock.
Yep, he's been very comfortable.
Here's our Texas Ford Dealers League Leaders, featuring the major league leaders in home earned run average. And they're leading the list is Wandy Rodriguez. Pretty good company, JD.
Yeah, Greinke and Santana, obviously very, very good. Ted Lilly's having a good year. Weaver pitched well for Anaheim last night. Of course, Wandy's taking a little bit of a hit here this evening.
Wandy, a switch hitter, normally bunts right-handed. He'll get down the first pitch, and Hamill will only look to first base with Stewart covering for the second out as Masonette moves up to second base. It's kind of always been the thing, though, for Wandy as far as that home road splits. Pretty dramatic in his career, and that's where this year he started to have some success away from Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, and last year too was a significant upgrade over the year before. He kind of put those demons behind him last year. This year the difference was that he was pitching good on the road, but just tearing it up here at Minute Maid Park.
See if his sacrifice bunt might lead to the first Astros run. Bourne is 0 for 1 tonight, but 13 for 28 this year against Rockies pitching, and he had 4 hits in that game Hamill started in Colorado. And Todd Helton has that ball deflect off his glove. It's a fair ball. Mason at home to score. And watch Bourne run. He'll go to second base and can't pick up the ball, and will slam on the brakes as it got away from Barnes. Another base hit for Michael Bourne. That'll bring a grin to his face.
Yeah, Michael doing a lot of things right this year. He's very good in these RBI situations. Doesn't hit that one all that well, but right down the line it goes. Helton leaves his feet. And Michael pulls up at second base. Dave Clark kind of admonishing him. Said, "Don't look back over your shoulder. Look at me. I'll let you know." And I think Clark wanted to bring him over to third, but with 2 outs, you don't want to be too risky there.
Yeah, that risk-reward formula. Although base running is, it was an issue clearly on the last road trip. And so far here in the homestand, it's been situational hitting, men on, that type of thing, runners in scoring position. This guy, though, has just continued to hit over the last 2.5 weeks. 0 for 1, looking to extend his hitting streak to 18 games. Hamill spins in one of those big breaking pitches for strike 1. Tejada has taken to that 2 spot in the lineup. He's bounced around a little bit, but boy, he has hit well ahead of Pence or Berkman, whomever has been batting third. Base hit, though, could chase home another run. And Miggy expands the zone for strike 2.
Well, Miggy's been one of the toughest batters to strike out in the major leagues this year. Type of guy that if you're going to expand the zone on him because you're ahead of him, and that's how pitchers think, I got ahead of this guy, I'm going to try to get him to chase. But with Miggy, you've got to go way up or way out or way down if you're going to count on him swinging and missing.
He's got some play coverage.
Yeah. There you go. Great example there. That's a swing and a miss with a lot of guys. But it's about neck-high fastball, and he was able to get a piece of it. Now they'll come back with a shoe-top curveball, and he'll probably get a piece of that too.
I congratulated Tejada the other day in Pittsburgh. He goes, "What for?" I said, "You now have 1 more walk than home runs this season." He went to 6 and 5, but he had that game winner the other day and has 6 of each.
Well, what's the old line? Rafael Ramirez that first said it? You can't walk off the island. And he was accused of never walking, coming from the Dominican.
Doesn't get the scouts' attention. Tejada got just a piece. Bellerin cannot hold on. Tejada in the last year of his contract. It's always an incentive, JD, to put up a big season, and he made no bones about it last offseason. Wanted to stay away from winter ball and kind of rededicate himself to getting back in shape.
Yeah, he loves to play. And we talked earlier about days off. And that's one where he's never going to ask. That's going to be on Coop. He's going to have to decide when he wants to give him a day off, because Miggy's not going to ask for one.
Tejada doesn't strike out much, but he chased a curve, and Jason Hamill able to get out of this 3rd inning. Astros, though, get on the board with the Michael Bourne double, but Hamill leading 4-1 through 3.
Just wasn't the night for Wandy Rodriguez.
Right, let's head over to the guys who called us tonight. Of course, Brett Dolan and JD. Guys.
All right, thanks, Kevin and JD. When we talked about it in the pregame show, we mentioned Wandy had lost 2 straight starts, but he also had this amazing success at home, and I guess it was the most recent struggles that won out.
Yeah, and I think that's probably going to be a little bit of an issue now for Dewey Robinson. The 2 bad road starts, not such a big deal, but he's pitched so well here, and to come back home and struggle again. So that's 3 in a row now where Wandy has really scuffled, and you just hate to see his season take a turn south because he's been pitching so well. But as Steve mentioned, his command tonight, a lot of fastballs up all night long. Pudge Rodriguez stepping out in front of home plate saying, come on, keep that front side in, get on top, get that ball down here around the knees, and Wandy just couldn't do it. You know, we talk about it a lot. He's not making his pitches. And it's not easy. You know, there are nights where you go out there and it comes easy to you. You feel like you hit your spot a high percentage of the time, and there's other nights you go out there and you just feel lost. And you could tell with Wandy's body language that was the case tonight. He just had no feel at all tonight.
Shows you what a tough game this is. 1 home run this year. He had gone almost 89 innings earlier this season without a long ball, and then just gives up home runs to guys who, for the most part, hadn't been hitting them this season.
And further proof that you shouldn't bet on this game, you consider what Wandy did out at Coors Field, one of the best hitters parks in the history of this game. He goes out there and pitches a dandy, punches out 11. Then he comes back home where he's been so good. And if you're a guy who's going to throw a little money down on a game, you're probably thinking, I like this matchup in Houston tonight. Well, hang with him if you did.
Yeah, the winning streak goes by the boards. The Rockies salvage a win in this 4-game series. You won't turn up your nose at 3 out of 4, but kind of a sour taste to finish off this series. And we'll send it back over to Kevin and Steve.
All right, guys, thank you very much.